Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the Learn Visual Communication Critique series, where we take a look at all different kinds of visual communication, whether it is print, web, video, whatever, advertisements, educational type stuff, anything that's visual and is designed to communicate. We're willing to take a look at it and talk about it and see what we like, what works, what doesn't, etc., etc. You get the idea. Today, we're looking at some product packaging here. These are Kettle Brand potato chip bags, and I thought this would be kind of a fun one to do. So let's dive in and talk about what we got here and what we like. Right away, you can see pretty different colors. So this was a choice that they made with the different flavors to go with different looking bags. And an interesting choice. You'll see some packaging where they wouldn't do something like that. They would just keep the same colors and then just change the name here of the brand or of the flavor. So I like that they've done that because we have a brand here, Kettle Brand, but then it's almost like each variety has its own feel to it. And I think that can be a very good thing as long as, there's the consistency there, but then you dive into this and you have kind of your own experience with the particular flavor, and the colors bring that out. So I like that choice. I think it was a good choice. Let's talk about another thing here. I'm just going to grab one of these. Let's talk about hierarchy, which is an important principle in design and visual communication. Hierarchy has to do with what the viewer experiences and the order that they experience it in, and that's an important job of a designer is to try to control that experience that the customer has. And so when we think of hierarchy, obviously the top or the most important thing here is probably the brand. It's important for people to know what they're dealing with and what this brand is and what it means. So they have their name here, their nice word mark, and it's clear, it's obvious, and it sets the tone for what we're dealing with here. And actually, I kind of like this one to point this out. A lot of people would look at this and say, okay, what's the first thing you notice? Well, this color is like screaming at you. Well, it's not screaming, but it's doing a lot of like, hey, look at me, I deserve your attention. But I actually think I would still look at the name here if I were walking down the potato chip aisle in a grocery store. I think the name is going to catch my eye at first, but then immediately I'm going to come down here and this color and the name of the flavor is going to get my attention. And I think that's good. I think that's probably what the brand wants, because they want you to know who they are, and then this is what they have to offer in this particular packaging. So from there, next, I'm probably going to notice some of this text here. I know they're potato chips, so I'm not going to really think about that, but I am going to probably notice this. Oh, it's a crinkle cut. That's fine if that's what you like. And then finally, I'm probably going to look here and notice this little thing here, which says sharing size. Gives you an idea. Okay, this is maybe a little bit bigger package than some of the smaller things they offer. But I think that's interesting because when you talk about hierarchy and you want to get someone's attention, one of the ways you can do that is put things right in the middle. But this was the last thing I noticed. And so the reason that works is because these other elements were designed so well. And there's such a good flow of how the style and the colors interact. And this really is probably the least important piece of information that I need to know. So I think they succeeded in the hierarchy. I like this logo. I like that it's got this personality to it. And again, I like the colors that they've used with all of these different packages. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? Another thing that I think is kind of, you can't really experience this as you look at it, but if you're in the store and you pick this up to look at it, you're going to feel that the packaging has kind of a unique feel. It feels sturdy. It feels almost healthier to me, which is interesting. I don't know if other people would feel that way. And this isn't strictly a visual thing, but it's a part of the experience. As you touch it, it feels different than other chip bags might feel. And so that's another thing. I mean, that is huge when it comes to print design. We'll talk about that in some other, in more videos. What you print something on really influences the brand. It influences how someone feels about what they're experiencing. You know what I'm saying. That's huge. Another thing I kind of want to point out here, well, I don't kind of want to point it out. I really want to point it out, and so I'm going to point it out. It has to do with, if you go to the store, you're going to notice that a lot of products, and especially chips and cereal, they like to show a picture of the actual potato chips or bowl of cereal. You can see it's a photograph of the actual product. Kettle has chosen not to do that, and I like it because it's not necessary to show the picture. In some cases it is, and it can be good, but in this case I don't think it was necessary, and it sets them apart from the other brands. They're saying we don't have to be like everybody else, and that is obviously a good thing when you're trying to stand out and create your own style, your own brand. These crinkle varieties here do have a subtle background pattern of the chips, which I think works. It's I didn't even notice it until I was just about to record this video, and so it's subtle, but it does set the crinkle cut apart. So I think it was good. The back, we could say some stuff about that, but it's well designed. It's got the information you need. We don't want to say too much about it because we really are talking about the experience that the customer has as they first come upon the bag, and what, how it's going to make them feel, and is it going to influence their purchase. I'm trying to decide which of these is my favorite. I really like these two. These blues are pretty interesting. Anyway, I could ramble on forever. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. We'll see you next time. Thanks for checking it out.